based on statistics, mas marami yung nagsisimula na mag-low carb sa family are the mothers, yung mga asawa. And most of them, merong isang major struggle. That is kung paano i-convince yung mga husband nila. Marami sa mga husbands are actually not into diet. Kasi nga, meron nga tayong normalization of dad bod, di ba? At meron pang mga daddy na hindi naman talaga mataba. So, they feel like they don't need to do a certain lifestyle change. However, majority rin sa mga daddy na ito, mga husband na ito, ay merong iba't ibang sakit, merong iba't ibang medical conditions. It can range from fatty liver, yung iba mataas yung uric acid, merong mga arthritis, yung iba may high blood, hypertension, diabetes, at marami pang iba. So today, one of our coaches, one of our pioneer na mga LCF Masterclass graduate, also part of Low Carb Team USA, ay mag-share ng kanyang story kung paano siya nagsimulang mag-low carb, paano siya naging low carb and fasting coach, and how she convinced her husband na hindi lang skeptical but meron ding medical condition that is COPD, and paano ito naging one of the low carb and fasting enthusiast na din. So let's all welcome Coach Beck Aison. Hello, ma'am.
Hello po, Doc. Kumusta
Good
po?
evening. Okay lang po. Anong oras na dyan?
9, to be exact, 9:24.
9:24. So, kamusta? Sino ba si Coach Beck? Tell us your story. Paano ka napunta sa low carb and fasting na community?
Doc, napunta ako sa low carb and fasting community noong first quarter ng 2021. Hindi pa tayo nagmi-meet noon.
Oo.
So, ang na-encounter ko is yung kay Coach Dave
Dave.
Aguila. Oo. Nirecommend siya ng pamangkin ko kasi nag-uusap kami, sabi ko sa kanya, gusto kong mag-diet. Ang taba-taba ko na, hindi ko na alam kung paano paliitin or hindi ako makahinga. Basta marami akong mga nararamdaman. Tapos sabi niya, mag-intermittent fasting ka kaya ate. Sabi niya.
Mm.
Sige, sabi ko naman. Tapos, inad niya ako kay Coach dun sa group ni Coach
Yes,
Dave.
LCIF.
Oo. Tapos yun, nandun na lahat yung mga parang, niyo po, yung safe, caution, at saka yung red zone na mga food list. So, finalo ko po yun. So, yun ang umpisa ng paglo-low carb ko. And then, pero meron pa rin akong tinitake na slimming coffee. Slimming coffee. Yan yon 2019 yan, Doc. High carb.
Mm.
Tapos, eto na nung
Sexy na.
2021, 2022. Yan na po ako.
Wow. Pero were your issue just related to weight lang ba? Wala namang any medical condition before?
Meron
Or
naman, Doc. Yung blood pressure ko is super taas. Hindi ko mawari kung paano. Sabi, bawal kasi ang magkape. Sabi sa akin, o sige, bawal. Pero masarap talaga magkape, Doc. Tapos, stress din. Kasama yun sa stress, sa work. At saka, yung puyat, sleep. Oo,
What's
yun.
your line of work ba? If you don't know.
Nasa skilled nursing facility ako, Doc, dito sa
So
California.
still healthcare, medical,
Yes,
no?
healthcare. Kaso nga lang, Doc, yung sa work ko dati is nasa scheduling ako. 2018, 2019, scheduler ako. So, even madaling araw, tinatawagan ka, may nag-call off, maghahanap ka ng,
Reliever.
mga nurses, nursing aides, yon. So, yun ang role ko.
Okay.
So, yun.
From your work na very stressful and all that. But we can see, no, hindi dahil nasa malapit tayo sa healthcare facility, malapit tayo sa access to medical care is we are already parang at advantage when it comes to our health. Yes, there can be advantage na mabilis tayo makahanap ng gamot, mabilis makahanap ng reseta or access to consultations. But at the end of the day, parang wala talagang kahit sino sa atin before na excuse na magkasakit. Just like what you've had before, hypertensive pa din. And it's not unique. Marami sa mga doctors and even those that are close to me are struggling with the same problem. And kahit pa doktor ako for many years now, before low carb and fasting, natanggap ko na rin na eventually I will just become diabetic, just like yung family ko on my father's side. It's
Yeah.
just like parang given na yon na doon talaga tayo papupunta. It's just that marami kang sample, marami kang makukuhang libreng gamot, but it doesn't mean na hindi ka magkakasakit. But now, with learning how proper nutrition, proper way of eating can actually change our lives, this knowledge is something that we would like to share. Being in the medical field, I think it is of advantage to us na we can understand the sciences a little faster as compared sa wala talagang medical background, because I myself, before ako pumasok na medicine, wala rin akong medical background. So it was really a struggle for me to understand. And now we are trying to share our stories and how we can educate as many people as possible, because hindi talaga ganon kahirap intindihin kung bakit yung paglo-low carb, paglo-lower ng ating glucose burden sa ating katawan, pagpapababa ng insulin level natin sa katawan, and pag-incorporate natin ng safe and therapeutic fasting on our day-to-day can actually reverse our medical conditions. And for those young naman na wala pang health issues, they can actually prevent early onset of diseases. Kaya we are doing what we do now. Now, moving forward to your role as a wife. Tapos na tayo as a healthcare professional, ha? So, as a wife, ano yung struggle mo? Because I saw that your husband is not really overweight before. Hindi talaga siya mataba,
Yes.
di ba? Hindi siya mataba. So, sobrang hirap i-convince, especially that you started low carb and fasting mostly for weight loss. So, hindi yan applicable sa kanya. But what was his health issue na feeling mo kailangan din niyang mag-go into lifestyle change?
Doc, he's been a smoker
Mm,
for so long. So, nag-stop lang talaga siya nung 2018. That
mm,
was mga summertime. Na-trigger yon when we came from sa Oceanside, sa beach, pauwi. And then, bigla niyang hinawakan yung dito niya. Sabi
ah,
niya, itakbo mo na ako sa ER. Bakit
mm,
hindi ako makahinga? Sabi niya. So, kinabahan ako doon, Doc. And then, yon nag-ano siya, basta marami siyang ginawang test, and then yun na-diagnose na siya ng emphysema, so COPD,
mm,
and then ito pa Doc, through yung mga test na yon, ang sabi na lang is 32% na lang ang capacity ng lungs niya.
oh,
So, grabe, parang, Lord, anong gagawin ko?
mm, mm,
So yun, medyo nag-ano na-enlighten siya. So
mm,
nag-stop na siya. Even drinking, kasi he drinks
mm.
beer, ganyan. Not really on alcohol, pero pagka may mga friends naman siyang dumarating, beer talaga.
Oo.
So high carbs din 'yun, 'di ba?
Together, oo. They usually go together habang umiinom, especially if you're a smoker. Hindi mo kayang uminom ng walang cigarette.
Yes.
Mm.
So yun,
So,
na-trigger Doc, so nag-stop na siya. Talagang ano ba ang tawag nila dun, yung stop talaga
ah,
ng smoking?
yung go cold turkey talaga
Oo,
immediately.
yun. Cold,
Mm.
yeah, cold turkey. So talagang na-stop niya, Doc. So I was happy. But again, syempre yung struggle din niya yung parang meron siyang anxiety, ano pa ba?
Yes,
Nag-GERD siya.
because yung cigarette will have nicotine. Nicotine
Yeah.
is calming, nakakapagpakalma yan. And the moment that people stop na cigarette and nicotine na intake sa kanilang katawan, they will really look for it. So that's why cigarette smoking na addiction are very, very rampant among people with anxiety to begin with. But
Yes.
it's like eto yung parang band-aid nila. Eto yung kanilang parang
Solution.
pinaka-way to address it because if without nicotine, yung kanilang isipan, how they brain work, it's very, very rapid, very, very complex. They can see
Mm.
everything. Mahirapan silang mag-focus sa one problem at a time. Once there is a problem, they can see all the problem. Once there is a question, all the possible answers, parang nakikita nila. So it's
Oo.
so hard for them to focus which one is good, but the action of nicotine is actually to shut down the other parts of the brain that is considered parang unnecessary. That's why nafo-focus sila. So,
Mhm.
it's a quick fix. It's a quick fix, but it calms them, nakakapagpakalma. That's why so many are really addicted to nicotine. And part of ang problem with cigarette, it doesn't just come with nicotine. It comes with all the other hundreds of toxins, toxic
Yes.
substances. That is cancerous, alam na natin yan, inflammatory, it increases, makes aging faster, among many others. Just like with your husband nga, it's COPD or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Para sa mga taong hindi maka-imagine kung ano ang dinaramdam ng isang taong may COPD, just like kay Coach Beck, no, yung husband niya, 32% na lang yung lung function. If you can breathe now, like, so that's 100%. So
Mhm.
try to breathe just one third of that. Tingnan mo if satisfied ka ba.
Hindi.
Yan lang, one third of that.
Oo.
That's the only allowable lung capacity na nararamdaman ng husband mo. And yes, we can take it, but only for a certain period of time. But
Certain period.
prolonged, alam mong kukulangin ka. And to think we are still sitting, how much more if kailangan niyang maglakad? How much more if kailangan niyang umakyat ng hagdan? So
Mhm.
that will entail more, that will need more oxygen. Kaya meron talagang pakiramdam na parang mamamatay ka na because you lack oxygen. That is the immediate response of our brain, the feeling na parang mamamatay ka na. That's why he asked for you to bring him to the emergency department.
DER.
Yes, so yun. That's why kailangan talaga ng parang drastic sa mga nalaman kong mga individuals who quit smoking immediately, yung cold turkey talaga, it's usually because of certain na substantial na experience. So either that, na sila mismo yung nakakaramdam, or sometimes ang sad part is the diagnosis of the presence of cancer or tumor or whatever. Pero yung mga nasa pakete na nakita nilang mga quit smoking, it will kill you, like that, hindi yan effective. Hindi talaga yan effective. Tingnan
Wala.
natin. Oo, wala na yan. Sanay na sila makakita ng ganyan. So, that was 2018. So, wala na siyang cigarette. But still, the food intake is still the same.
The
Because
same.
iniisip nila, ano naman ang kinalaman ng diet sa pag-smoking? When, in fact, our body responds to these toxins depending also on our level of inflammation. So,
Yeah.
if our food intake is inflammatory, so it's actually double dose ng inflammation sa katawan. So, they are parang nagtutulungan silang dalawa para sirain
Mhm.
yung katawan mo. So, how did you convince your husband to do low carb given na payat na siya to begin with?
Yeah, payat siya dahil nga sa smoking, Doc. And
Mm,
then, nung nag-stop na siya, so nag-disability siya, ganyan. So, bored siya dito sa bahay. Tendency, ang ginawa niya is kumain naman ng kumain 3 times a day
yeah.
na rice, merienda niya rice. So, yon bigla siyang lumobo. Lumobo naman siya.
Mm,
Yung ano lang niya is, yung paghinga niya. that time din, 2019, the whole 2019.
Mm.
And then 2020, medyo alam niyo po Dok, habang nagwo-work ako, nagre-research din pala siya on
Ah,
how to work on his breathing. Kasi nga sabing nung doctor niya is, yun na nga 32%. So paano na? Parang ganon. And then, ang ginawa niya, nag-breathing exercise siya.
that's really
Nag-breathing exercise siya with that. While, yung ano pa rin, yung kino-convince ko pa rin siya na konti na lang kainin niya, ganyan. But, ano, ang tawag dito, um, kumakain pa rin siya, plus ice cream. Ice cream pa doon. So, nagti-trigger ang anxiety. Sabi niya may sakit na daw siya sa puso, pero hindi pala yun, sakit sa puso. Parang GERD pa rin. Yung GERD causes anxiety. So, yung na-convince ko sa, so, nung nag-join na ako sa inyo, after kay Coach Dave Aguila, na-encounter kita. So, with that encounter in 2021, nag-start na tayo ng masterclass ng
yeah, pioneer batch.
April.
Yes, April.
Yes. So, habang nandito po ako sa computer, syempre naka-loud speaker yan. Hindi ako naka-earphone. So, habang nandyan siya, katabi namin ng bed, naririnig ka rin niya na nagtuturo sa amin.
Mm.
So, yun, syempre, pumapasok pa rin sa brain, kahit ba, kunyari natutulog siya.
Kahit background noise lang, no?
Yes, may pumapasok. So, yun, nagtuloy-tuloy po yung research niya, nag-YouTube siya, and then he watches your videos.
Mm.
Yes, minsan
Nice.
nga nahuhuli ko siya, nakikinig siya sa iyo. Yes, yes, Doc. So, yun na yung start. So, syempre, 2021, ako lang ang lumalabas sa bahay.
Mm.
Dahil nga, syempre,
Working. Mm. Pandemic.
non-working na siya at saka um, COVID
High
pa rin.
risk.
Yeah,
Mm.
very careful pa rin kami sa COVID. So, yun. And then, binigyan siya ng friend niya ng pug. Parang kasama niya sa
Eto
bahay.
yung nagwo-walking kayo na nasa ano, na meron na siyang ano 'no, alaga. So,
Yes. So, naging ano niya yon, parang companion niya while
companion,
I'm working.
yan. Tsaka parte siya ng
Yes.
Low Carb USA, oh.
Yes. Nung September yan, Doc. September
So
ba o October? Nakalimutan ko na.
mm.
So,
So
yan.
if we can compare yung kaniyang, pakiramdam ng 2019 na he quit smoking but eating high carb foods as compared to like now na quit smoking but no longer eating high carb food. Kamusta naman yung pakiramdam niya?
Alam niyo, Doc, since dito summer mainit, di ba pag may COPD ka, hindi ka
Mm,
masyado sa heat, you
mm,
get inside na. Sa kanya, he can tolerate na. He can
hmm,
tolerate yung matagal na nasa garden siya, nagwo-work
mm,
outside. So, nakatotolerate na niya. And then, yung breathing niya, okay naman. So, wala pa yung result nung stress test ba yun? Yung
mm,
meron siyang hihingahin na ganyan, tapos ika-count nila. Meron
yeah.
yun eh, nakalimutan ko na. Do'n nila nakuha yung percentage kasi nung ano niya, lung capacity. So, wala pa yung result. So, hopefully makuha namin yung result this month.
Yeah, and hopefully we can have an update, no? Kung from 32%, I hope there's really
Yes.
pero alam mo ba, based on research, no, regardless kung ano yung labas ng like spirometry or kung ano mang ginamit nilang mode to measure the lung capacity, the most important talaga is the clinical subjective na improvement na nararamdaman ng pasyente. Because even if the numbers in the machine will look like it worsened or it stayed the same. Pero yung pinaka-importante talaga sa lahat is yung nararamdaman talaga ng pasyente. And when the patient feels better, then that's the most important thing. Kasi useless kahit pa sabihin ng machine na nag-improve na yung inyong lung capacity but hindi yun nararamdaman ng pasyente, then it's no
Oo.
use. And did he say na he feels better?
He feels better, Doc. And one more thing kasi syempre nasa nursing home ako, no. Most of our patients have diagnosis of COPD.
Mm.
So, lahat sila naka-oxygen.
Yeah.
Naka-oxygen sila. Siya hindi. Hindi siya
Mm.
nag-o-oxygen. So,
Mm.
isa pa yun na thank you Lord sa kanya. And sa low carb na na-introduce natin sa ating
Mm.
mga loved ones. And
Mm.
then, ano pa, isa lang ang inhaler niya. Other
Mm.
people, they take medications, may mga
Yeah, may
tablets
orals
pa.
pa.
Oo.
Mm.
So, tapos
That's
yung
good.
inhaler, yun, isa lang talaga ang inhaler niya, Doc.
And the fact that he can go out na merong dog to walk, hindi kaya yun ganun kadali. Even other people nga
Oo.
will not have the
Nagbibisikleta siya,
stamina
Doc.
and patience para mag-walk ng kanyang dog. How much
Correct.
more siya with COPD? So, sobrang galing ng achievement. So, congratulations for that achievement, no? May, at least na yung pag-convince mo pala sa kanya is parang subtle lang. Ginawa mo lang loudspeaker yung videos at bahala
Yes.
ka.
Kasi siya,
Siya na lang.
Doc, alam nyo ba, Doc, mahirap talagang mag-change ang isang tao kung wala
Yes.
siyang willingness, di ba?
Self-described. Yeah, it should
Yes.
come from the person himself talaga.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Yung mga yes pa, yes pa.
So sabi ko, lalakasan ko yung volume ng teaching ni Doc.
Subtle na plinanuhan mo pala talaga yung husband mo, ha? Hindi lang niya alam. Akala lang niya
Kaya,
ayaw mo
yun.
That's good. Meron din akong isang alam, one of our coaches din, yung kanyang ginawa naman, since part of our diabetes masterclass is monitoring, di ba, our blood
Opo.
sugar. Na kahit pa hindi ka diabetic, but you wanting to know how to manage diabetes, tayo mismo kahit normal na yung blood sugar natin, we check para malaman natin, like before eating and then after eating, di ba? So this coach from Mindanao, chine-check niya. And then she is not convincing her husband na to to remove the rice o hindi na mag-bread, ganyan. Wala, pinababayaan lang niya. Pero there's just one day na sinabihan niya, mag-check tayong dalawa, pareho tayo ng kakainin, except that ikaw may rice, ako wala. So,
Aha.
noon, chinek nila. And then, right after, to think she was already starting doing low carb for quite a while. At nakita rin ng husband niya, nag-weight loss na siya, na-improve na yung kanyang hypertension, unti-unti nang nawala yung kanyang gamot. And then, lo and behold, after 30 minutes after silang kumain, yung kanyang blood sugar ay nasa 250 plus ata yon, while yung wife na naglo-low carb na walang rice, pareho silang kinain. Actually, mas marami pang kinain na itlog and na ulam yung wife. But her blood sugar remained just around 100. So, walang kahit anong blood sugar spike. And that alone, the personal experience of the husband alone, yun yung nag-convince sa kanya. So sometimes we have to devise our own way to
Yes.
somewhat partly manipulate our loved ones, but for their own good. Hindi naman manipulation towards the bad side, but it's actually guiding them. At tayo yung nakakaalam, nakakakilala sa mga loved ones natin. So we should know how to go about it. And based on social experiment, ha, hindi effective yung hard selling. Ano yung hard selling? Sabihin mo siya agad, oy, mag-low carb ka, kainin mo to, ganyan, ganyan. That is a hard sell. So, when you do hard sell, kahit pa in sales, immediately, you will say no to it. Kasi feeling mo, parang they are trying to fool you or they are
Oo.
trying to parang to get to you, yung ganon. So, you become defensive. But what will usually work is a soft sell. So, a soft sell would
Yes.
be like, alam mo, ako noon, hindi rin ako ayoko ring mag low carb kasi gusto-gusto ko yung rice pero sinubukan ko
Sarap.
lang one time, akala ko hindi ko kaya pero kaya ko pala and ngayon kayang-kaya ko na ng walang rice and I'll never go back to eating rice. Yun lang. So it's a soft sell. You're not really selling it, you're just telling a story, you're just saying kung ano yung experience mo and hopefully you just say it with a prayer na sana makita niya and our loved ones will try to think for themselves na maybe it's worth the try. So yun, we can never
Yes.
really change someone, but we can try to influence them and especially that they know and they trust you na hindi mo sila ipapahamak.
Oo,
'Di ba?
Dok. Tama. Tama kayo diyan. Yeah,
So meron yes.
happy talaga ako, Dok, kasi siyempre yung hassle mo na mag-take off para lang pumunta sa doktor, magpa-check up every week, hassle na rin yun, tapos absent ka na naman sa trabaho, ganyan. So,
Hmm.
right now, after 6 months na lang siya nagpapakita sa doktor niya.
Just monitoring na lang, no?
Just
And
monitoring na lang.
that's so good. So, maraming nakaka-relate, especially sa mga mommies dito. They are like we will see si Agnes. She's very happy na meron siyang supportive husband. Supportive husband ha. So the husband supports her low carb. Pero
Wow.
sabi niya, hope he will do the same. So hindi naglo-low carb. Nagso-support lang. Yeah! So, support. So, yan. Dapat when we say it with some prayer, no? Para maging effective.
Oo.
Marami dito share ng kanilang journey. Sabi ni Mark, I lost 20 kilos in 5 months through intermittent fasting, low carb. From XL clothes to medium na lang. How to share my success story? Sige sir, gawa ka ng 5-minute video ng testimonials mo and we will try to insert that in our National Low Carb Day
Yes.
because our National Low Carb Day, tatlong event yan. Merong Low Carb Con 2022 na conference. There's also the fitness, cooking, and life hacks workshop and the expo. In between, salitan yan. And there will be modified coffee break. So, hindi siya yung regular coffee break na walang ginagawa yung lahat. During the coffee break time, we will show testimonials, success story of people. So, if you can make
Oh.
your 5-minute testimonial, we will be showing it among our testimonial time during the modified coffee break. Maraming salamat, Sir Mark, for sharing your story. Si Lloyd din. Lloyd, Vera Ang, after 3 months of low carb and IF from XL down to medium. Most important, all my lab test results are very much improved. Yan. Usually talaga, yung pinaka-bait sa karamihan,
Nice.
especially the young ones na wala pang masyadong health issue, would just be the physical na aspect of improvement when it comes to low carb and fasting. And the moment that they've reached their ideal body, their ideal weight, nare-realize nila that the weight is actually just a bonus para lang siyang
Mm.
hindi siya talaga yung totoong reason why you will stick to this way of life. It's really the health improvement talaga. So we hope to share many more when it comes to this way of life. And si Apolinar, who is asking about the masterclass, it is still ongoing po. Hindi pa pala ganun kaalam ng lahat, but we have low carb and fasting masterclass ongoing na available na siya for 12 diseases. Now 11 diseases are available. So diabetes, high blood, weight loss, hypercholesterolemia, fatty liver, PCOS, for GERD, and many more. So even gallbladder diseases and female fertility health, those are all available. Just message lang po our admins in Facebook, in our channels. You can send a message there para matulungan kayo how to enroll in our masterclass. But for this interview series, we have National Low Carb Day coming up on October 2, 2022. It's going to be on a Sunday. So sa ating countdown, nasa ilang days na lang tayo sa ating countdown and we hope to see everyone in the National Low Carb Day. Hindi ka ba makakauwi? Virtual ka lang, Coach Beck?
Virtual na lang, Doc, kasi late yung ticket. Sayang.
Yeah, it's
Sayang.
okay. So for those na hindi makaka-attend ng face-to-face, virtual attendance is actually very good. Actually, if you will register on virtual attendance, you will have the opportunity to really grasp the whole thing. Kasi merong medyo siksik yung day natin. If you will gonna be there
Mhm.
live, sobrang nakakatuwa because you will see all the coaches, all the
I
low-carb
know.
doctors, everybody will be there, but it might be a little overwhelming because so many things will be going on. But if you enroll in virtual na attendance, you will be given a month long for you to review the whole lectures,
Oh, that's
both in
nice.
the low carb con stage and the workshop stage, as well as the testimonials and the Q&A na mga parts, which might be too much for others to handle, unless they are capable of focusing in five things all at once, no? And yes, it's also possible for those who would be there face to face. You are still welcome to join the virtual na groups, and it's going to be discounted. So this coming October to 2022, the registration is just a bargain talaga, just 500 pesos, because
500.
we want everybody to come. Secure your slots na before September 15, because after September 15, we will have the regular rate na. So I hope you can register. Just
Okay.
message lang po our admins how to go about the virtual, so you can send a message sa mga admins natin. We will update the description of this video for you to see, and the National Low Carb Day PH in Facebook, and www.nationallowcarbday.com. Nandyan din po for those who will be using credit card or debit card. Pwedeng-pwede po dyan. And meron palang isang nagtatanong how to sustain daw the low carb lifestyle, kasi daw parang nadadapa sila. Do you have your own technique paano mo na sustain ito, Coach Beck?
Ang sa akin po, Doc, nag-e-experiment po kasi ako.
Mm.
So, I try things. One time, sumakit talaga yung ulo ko. As in, throbbing, throbbing na sakit sa ulo. So, hindi ko na inuulit yon. Kasi clean na tayo, Doc, eh. That time talagang tinanggal ko ang rice, tinanggal ko ang high carbs because
Mm.
I want to fix myself and heal myself. So, healed na talaga, wala na akong vertigo. Kahit ang daming activities with Dr. Iris, may coaching kami, may ganito. Sleep ko is 6 hours, 5 hours, okay lang. Hindi ako nagvo-vertigo, Doc. So,
Oh.
yun, na-heal na. And then, sugar talaga. I remove sugar in my body. Even though nandyan ang mga donuts, mga chocolates, wala. Hindi na yung cravings, wala na talaga yun, Doc. Hindi, ano na, clear na ang aking mind. So, yung mga nadadapa, that means, ano pa sila, parang hindi pa convinced sa sarili
Mm.
nila na to do the low carb.
Yeah.
But they have to have the willpower or yung talagang gagawin ko to kasi yung big why ba, Doc? Yung big
Yes.
why talaga. Yon.
It
So,
will motivate you talaga, and it will really fuel you, especially sa times na maraming temptations. So you
yes.
have to know which one is more important, your life, your health, or you eating that donut. So it's just a matter of choosing. But when you decide to say no to it and you stick to it, alam mong it's not an option, then it's quite easy. Nandito pa yung mga tips ni Coach and Kasha on how to sustain the low carb
Oh,
lifestyle.
yeah.
10 tips to.
Yeah.
So we go through it na lang. Thank you, Coach Ann, for sharing your tips here. So number one daw is to know your carbohydrate limit in low carb. Generally, it's 50 grams of carbohydrate. So personally, what I do is I just avoid all the big carbs and I just eat low carb. So I am mostly carnivore. And then yung 50-gram allowance ko on carbohydrates, I just put it sa little vegetables or sa mga condiments na minsan nandyan, sa mga
Mhm.
kakaunting sauce na nalalagay when we are just ordering food, or
Yes.
sometimes low carb goodies. So you just know your limit. So for me, hindi ako naglalagay ng kahit anong high carb food. So kahit pa you can accommodate like half cup of rice, but that is already 25 grams of carbohydrates. Sobrang madali na lang siyang i-over sa limit mo. So just avoid the big carbs and just stick to the zero to very very low carb, and you can just be relaxed when it comes to eating some vegetables or mga konting condiments, especially if wala namang serious need for healing. Number two is
Yes.
avoid both simple and complex carbohydrates. So simple, yung mga honey, sugar, table sugar, brown sugar, palm sugar, at marami pang iba. Complex carbohydrates would be the bread, the pasta, the rice. Anong paboritong complex carbohydrates mo noon, Coach Beck?
Pasta, Doc.
Pasta. Yeah, ako, ganun din. At saka mga noodles and pancit. I love
Oh,
Chinese.
Diyos ko,
Oo,
pansit.
gustong-gusto ko talaga 'yan. I am more on noodles and pasta than rice. At tsaka pati yung bread, hindi rin ako ma-bread noon. But ngayon, dahil masarap ang bread sa low carb, I'm fond of low carb breads na din. But I still eat them very, very occasionally lang, kung nandiyan lang sila. And then prioritizing proteins, that's also very important. And aside from us needing protein, it will actually cure our need to eat more, especially
Yes.
looking for carbs, because between proteins and fats, proteins can be satiating. Mas nakakasatisfy siya. That's why marami ang nagsasabi, hindi nila kayang kumain ng maraming karne kasi madali
Mm.
silang naumay. And that is okay because when you already reach that peak na parang nauumay ka na, then maybe
Tama
that
na.
is already enough. Tama na yon. Yun na yung enough that you need, especially for those who need to lose weight. But for those who need to gain some muscle weight, then you need to practice. Kung nauumay na kayo, then you can stop eating, but maybe after 2 hours, you can try to eat again.
Again.
Okay? And
Mhm.
kung wala kayong gana, then maybe you are not spending too much energy. Try to do some exercise. Try to do some mind-boggling activities, because our brain actually is the most metabolically active organ. Our brain burns energy more than any other parts of our body. So, hindi kailangan exercise lang. Mag-isip. Huwag
Mag-isip
basta
din.
manood lang ng movies or Netflix, because watching a movie, watching videos is not gonna do any consumption of energy sa utak natin. Okay? It should be active thinking that will burn the energy in your brain. So, prioritize proteins. Number four would be eat whole foods. If you choose to eat low carb, always go to our safe list of the JGC Raw food list, dahil yan ay mostly whole food. Try to avoid processed and mga pre-packed foods na. What's your favorite whole food, Coach Beck?
Um, karne ng karne.
Ako din, meat and eggs, meat and eggs. Yun lang talaga.
Ang
Or
egg
other,
namin, Doc, ano, siguro 3 trays every week yan na
mm,
and
mm,
then boil lang. So, every morning, yun ang ano, unang kain namin, boiled egg.
that
Minsan, nag-fry din ako, omelette, ganon. But mostly
seldom.
is boiled egg. It's
Oo,
easy.
para Oo, yung itlog talaga, yan na yung pinaka-replacement mo sa kanin. It's very
Mm-hmm.
cheap, it's very easy to prepare. Mas madali pa nga siyang i-prepare kaysa sa pagsasaing eh. If you will
Correct.
just boil it, di ba? Oo, and it will
Tama.
stay longer pa. So yes,
Opo.
go for eggs. And choose healthy natural fats. So the egg yolk in egg is the healthy natural fats. The fats in carne, in in meat, those are healthy natural fats. Coconut oil is good. Olive oil, best taken raw. Hindi kailangan. Kung magpiprito kayo, coconut oil ang gamitin because it has high saturation point or oxidation point. Mas
Yes.
mataas yung tolerance. In fact, based on Sir Marco Reyes research, pwede palang i-reuse yung coconut oil up to 5 times na hindi siya magiging rancid oil. So that is good news, especially on economy na side. Number
Oo.
6, make it simple. So just like Coach Beck, itlog sa umaga, boiled egg. Wala nang iba
Oo.
pang iisipin pa. 7 would be ample and quality sleep. If you lack sleep, you tend to decide wrongly. So prioritize sleeping. At mas when it comes to appetite, if you don't have enough sleep, your appetite might be affected sa mga babae. You might tend to have more cravings and your decision making to decide on saying no to that craving may be a little low if you lack sleep. And for males naman, their appetite is so much more. They are hungrier if they lack sleep. And we, of course, just like what you've mentioned, manage stress well. Paano mo na manage yung stress mo? I'm sure you are still working now. But what is the difference now that you are doing low carb and before na hindi ka pa napaka low carb?
Um, ang ginagawa ko na lang, Doc, kasi ano, stressful talaga sa nursing home.
Mm-mm.
I just focus on my work and every morning meditation. Na-learn ko yun kay Doc Iris for
Mm.
meditation. Eh,
Yeah.
kayo din, nabanggit nyo rin yung meditation. So, start the day with meditation, be at present. Huwag mo nang problemahin yung kahapon kasi tapos na. Just be at present.
Mm.
So, yung mind mo, clear talaga and then yung focus mo, at the end of the day, tapos mo na yung trabaho mo.
Yeah.
Na, ay, tapos na ganon. And then, yung, kasi minsan ang environment na, din natin is stressful, mga tao sa paligid, maraming mga marites, ganon. So, yun, you just don't mind them. Just focus on your work.
Mm.
If it doesn't serve you, sabi nga nila, Doc, if it doesn't serve you, you don't have to waste your energy.
Yeah. So, I think it's just right, no? Manage stress well. Na na-mention mo na rin, hayaan ang mga marites to avoid toxic people.
I avoid
Put
toxic people.
yourself in an environment where it is encouraging, where it is inspiring and motivating. Okay? If it
Yes.
discourages you, try to change your environment. And lastly, love yourself and invest in
Yes.
yourself. Just like what Coach Beck has been doing until now. Naka-masterclass pa rin at marami pa rin learning platforms to improve her own current status. So I also believe
Yes.
in meditation. What I just do now is the moment I wake up, yun lang yung pinaka-basic. The moment I realize, kasi the moment na magigising ka sa umaga, meron niyang awareness na alam mong gising ka na you are no longer in the dreamland, okay? So the
Yes.
moment that I recognize that I'm already awake, I avoid na getting up fast or opening up my eyes. So the moment I realize that I'm already awake, I still continue to close my eyes and just think and remember. One thing that I try to remember would be my dreams because understanding your dreams is also very important, which is another topic for another time. And also, just being in the moment, just being in the present, and then you'll know parang masisync ka sa oras and sa araw, and you
Mhm.
know that your day is just gonna start better. I know if I don't do that, parang the whole day something is off. But
Yeah.
when I know I've meditated first thing in the morning, everything it just goes in the flow. We are in the flow,
The
and
flow.
everything is just doing so well and all right. So thank you so much, Coach Beck, for this very warm and very heartwarming talk with you. Kahit medyo papuntang late na dyan. And for us here, I think tapos na yung lunch break ng marami. And the others can just review this this live video. And I hope to see you all in the National Low Carb Day 2022 or be part of our low carb and fasting masterclass. Any last words, Coach Beck, before we end?
I just want to thank you, Doc, for giving me this chance to share the story of my husband, my story. Though meron tayong mga karamdaman like COPD, especially COPD, mahi-heal po tayo sa paraan ng pag-choose natin ng food, pag-choose natin ng pagkain, because when we choose the whole food, the real food, it helps heal
Mm.
your body. Kasi nakita ko talaga sa husband ko na yung instead na magde-degrade yung kanyang katawan, it's not parang alam niyo yung cell, mga bagong cell na ano to, hindi ko ma-express, basta parang alam niyo yung new na renew lahat ng cells niya, you
Oh,
with the way of low carb, and nag-intermittent fasting din siya, Doc. So yun, na-heal
that's
yung katawan niya. And hopefully, hindi na nandun na rin yung emphysema, yung COPD, but at least it doesn't let you go be dependent to medication and be dependent with the doctors.
mm-mm.
Though, yan, hindi mo hahayaan na mahirapan kang yung parang wala na, eto may sakit na ako, so ganun na lang. So para sana ma-inspire sila na uh, may paraan para ma-heal tayo with low carb and intermittent fasting. So it's a miracle to do low carb.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Coach Beck. Yes, it's really a miracle kasi never been experienced before, no? Even if we are doing everything na nasa guidelines, na sa mga medical na mga algorithms, but never ever have I experienced na drastic healing the way low carb
Yes.
heals talaga in many forms. And yes, that is why we do this one. We have free videos and we do this as much as we can, no matter how busy we are with our work, just to share the knowledge that we have with everyone. And for those naman who want to be on a structured learning program, kasi dito, we talk about everything and anything under the sun. Nakikita nyo naman kung ano-ano ang pinag-uusapan namin. But if you want a straight program where you can learn everything about low carb and fasting nutrition for healing. Yes, including cancers and tumors. Meron nagtatanong kanina. We have LCF Masterclass by yours truly. You can just send a message to our admins para matulungan nila kayo on how to go about it. But you can just send a message kung saan kayo nanonood ngayon, whether it's in Facebook na Dr. Josephine Grace Chua Rojo channel or the National Low Carb Day or the Diet Doctora page or our groups, Life Without Rice and Low Carb Feasting and Fasting Community, yung mga admins natin dyan can just assist you when it comes to your enrollment sa ating masterclass. And for those naman who can come to our National Low Carb Day, I hope we can see you in Philinvest Alabang. Or for those who will enroll virtually, nationallowcarbday.com. Check nyo lang po. Meron tayong registration page dyan. Only 500 pesos until September 15, 2022 before we proceed with our regular rate. And for those who want to go up close and personal, special dinner after the National Low Carb Day.
Mm.
Oh, if ever you will go there. And stick to the safe list as always, no? So, yung JGR food list, meron tayong www.wellnessbygracemd.com/printable food list para ma-print ninyo yung food list na yan. Put it in your pantry, in your refrigerator, or even in your phone para always check kung yan ba ay pasok sa ating safe list. So, thank you again, Coach Beck. We hope to see you again next time.
See
Maraming
you,
salamat
Doc.
for being with
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Remember
Thank
to
you.
stay low carb so that we all stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you, Doc.